guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe. So in today's video we are going to see how to make an authentic chicken dum biryani. So without any further ado, let's go into the cooking process. The first thing to do while cooking biryani is to marinate your chicken. Here I took about 2 kgs of chicken, into which I am going to add 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. Next, I added salt as per the taste. After adding the salt, I added about 4 teaspoons of chili powder. Next, I added 2 spoons of coriander powder. After adding coriander powder, next I am going to add 2 spoons of chicken masala. Here I am using Everest chicken masala. You can use any brand which is of your choice. After adding the chicken masala, I added 2 tablespoons of oil. Next comes the curd. I added about half a cup of curd into it, which measures up to 5 tablespoons. And now it's time for mixing. So make sure that each and every chicken piece is coated well with generous amount of masala. And take your time and massage the chicken at least for about 5 minutes. Now that I am marinating the chicken, so I am going to leave it at least for about 12 hours in the refrigerator, because I want that nice juicy texture from the chicken and all the flavors that infused in the chicken. So now into this chicken I am going to add the whole garam masala spices. Along with this I am going to add a little bit of turmeric, because I forgot to add it while adding the spices. And next I am going to add bay leaf. After that, now I added a handful of mint. Now these are the ingredients. Now next we are going to add lime. Yes, we forgot to add lime. Now half a wedge of lime is enough. So after adding the remaining ingredients, give it a nice mix and leave it in the refrigerator for about 12 hours. If you don't have time, at least leave it for about 4 hours. That is enough. If you have time, leave it overnight. If you don't have time, 4 hours is minimum for that nice juicy texture from the chicken. So now the marination is done. Now let's close the lid and I'll keep it into the refrigerator for the next morning. So see you in the next morning. Hi guys, once again. So this is the next morning, the day of cooking biryani. So before starting to cook your biryani, you need to wash your rice properly and soak it for about 1 hour to 1.5 hours. Make sure that you wash your rice gently, don't rub it too hard, otherwise the rice may break. Here I took about 1.5 kg of basmati rice for 2 kgs of chicken. So now let's have a look at the chicken. So this is the chicken which is being marinated from about last night. Now into it I am adding green chilies. Here I added about 8 to 9 green chilies into it. Next I am going to add fried brown onions, which I already fried them and kept them ready. So 2 handfuls is enough. After adding the brown onions, I am going to add another half cup of curd into the chicken for the gravy consistency. So I already added half cup of curd during marination. That curd helps to tenderize the chicken and give it a nice juicy texture. The half cup of curd which we added now gives the chicken a nice gravy consistency and helps to flavorize the biryani more. So after mixing all these ingredients together, just close the lid and keep it aside. Now let it marinate until the rice gets boiled. That's enough. And now it's time to boil our rice. So for that I took a handi filled with water. Into it I added 2 handfuls of rock salt. Next we are going to add a whole garam masala spices like star anise, cardamom, shah jeera, about half a spoon is enough. After adding shajira, next we add cinnamon about 2 inches and cloves. 9 to 10 cloves would be enough. Next I added bay leaf. I took 3 bay leaf and cut them into pieces. Into it I am going to add a small spoon of ginger garlic paste, which measures up to 1 teaspoon. And later I added 1 handful of mint. Next into it, finally I added 2 tablespoons of oil so that the rice doesn't stick to each other. Now let's put this handi onto the stove and switch on the flame. Now let's give it a mix so that the ginger garlic paste that we added gets diluted into the water. Now let's wait until the water gets boiled. Now as you see that the water has come to a boil, now it's time to add our rice, which has been soaked from about 1 hour. So please make sure that you check the taste of the water. The water should taste like seawater, that means it should be a little bit saltier. After adding the rice, give it a mix and close the lid and let the rice get boiled. Make sure to boil the rice only up to 75%, that would be enough. After that, I took another biryani handi and into it I added some oil. So now this is the oil which I used previously to fry the onions. Next, I am going to add the marinated chicken into the handi. Now let's spread the chicken evenly at the bottom of the handi so that it cooks perfectly while we put the biryani for the dum. After adding the chicken into the handi, I am going to add stone flour. Now this stone flour gives a nice flavor to the biryani. Next, I am going to add a pinch of Kasuri Methi, which also adds another hint of flavor to the biryani. Just take a pinch of it, just crush it in the palm and add it into the handi. And now it's time for us to check the rice. And yes, the rice is perfectly cooked. Don't forget to check the rice, guys, and don't overcook the rice. Just cook it until 70 to 75%. That would be perfectly good. Now let's start layering the rice into the biryani handi. I just wanted to give you a tip, guys. That is, don't add all the rice at once. Whatever quantity you take, just divide it into 3 portions and add it layer wise. Just add the first layer and on top of it, next as you see, I'm going to add the brown onions, which is the fried onions, and next I'm going to add mint. If you have saffron milk, now you can add the saffron milk. I don't prefer it, so I'm going with the second layer. Just repeat the same process in 3 layers in whatever quantity you take. And here I'm going to add my final layer, that is the top layer. So after adding this layer, I'm going to give it a final touch with a little bit of the same brown onions and a little bit of mint. And now that I finished layering my biryani, so the last thing I'm going to add is that I took a little bit of milk and into it I added a little bit of turmeric, and I'm going to add it into the biryani so that it gives a nice color to the biryani, just to avoid adding artificial colors. That's it. And finally, the biryani is all set to go for the dum. So for that, I'm going to place a pan on the stove, and onto it I'm going to place the biryani handi. To give the biryani handi a little bit of weight, I'm going to place the hot water pot in which I cook the basmati rice for the steam not to come out. So I'm going to dum the biryani for about 25 minutes, and after putting off the stove, just leave the biryani without opening the lid for another 15 minutes. That would be perfect. And after 40 minutes of waiting, finally the biryani is ready. Now it's time to open the lid. Wow, it looks so delicious and yummy, and my mouth is watering, yaar. So now let's give it a good mix. Don't mix it too hard, guys. Just gently mix it gently so that the gravy at the bottom mixes along with the rice. And finally it's plating time, guys. Now let's plate our biryani. Finally, I'm going to give it a quick garnish with few coriander leaves. And that's it, guys. The biryani is ready. And finally, the chicken dum biryani is ready. So the recipe is so simple and easy, guys. The main process is only to marinate your chicken and keep it ready. That's it. So please do try it at home and let me know in the comment box how it turned out to you. And for more such recipes, please do subscribe to my channel, like and share, and don't forget to click the bell icon for latest notifications. Thank you for watching.